So I think one thing that's really important to realize is that within the Nablus area, there are both refugees and there are also Nablusis, and there is a pretty serious division between the two. Within Nablus, there are two main refugee camps right nearby. One is Balata and one is Askar, and they are both, I guess depending on who you ask, whether it's the UN or them themselves, they're internally displaced in that they were mostly from Israel proper when Israel was instated, and they sought refuge near Nablus. And so they create these like ghettos of a refugee camp that are self-perpetuating because this education isn't very good. But at the same time, a lot of aid immediately goes to refugees. Refugees have become like a token cause for a lot of people, and so a lot of aid people are allocating to Nablus is going to refugees in those refugee camps. However, there's a lot of similar problems, but then a lot of different problems when you look at Nablus itself. Within the old city, during the last Intifada, in order to oppose the Israeli military occupation, they basically created like street gangs or street militias. Palestine is not permitted to have military, and so in order to fight the occupation, it was literally just street gangs that were gathered up men off the streets, and those were Nablusis fighting within the old city itself. And so that's a whole generation of men that were in some way involved in these street gangs. It's one thing really sad to see is there is a violent culture that comes from witnessing a lot of death, that comes from fighting, that comes from constantly having guns in your face. There's a violent culture that's still pervasive there, and a gang culture, and so I think that the old city itself needs a way to heal, and it deserves the international attention. And so I think that people should take that into consideration when it's like, yes, helping refugees is good.